How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Riley here, and today, yet again, yes, I am bringing you guys another brand new video here on my channel. And today we are going to be tackling a brand new type of video. Today we are going to be naming off 4 NBA superstars that need to leave their team or their franchise as soon as they possibly can. Now, I'm not really sure where I came up with the idea of this video. I was thinking about how NBA All-Star Weekend is right around the corner for us, and I was just thinking of a list of superstars, actually 4 of them that came to mind, that I'm just like, wow, they should leave their team as soon as possible. Now, I'm not thinking all of these superstars should leave their team all for one specific reason. It varies by the team. I have 4 people in mind. I'm going to be going through each and every one of them, explaining why I believe they should leave their team as soon as they possibly can. But as I do before every single video, if you guys are brand new, checking out my content for the first time, or you are a previous viewer and you are watching one of my videos again and have not done so yet, please do not be afraid to go down below and subscribe to the channel. Number 1, it's free. Number 2, it's easy. Number 3, you get my content that much faster. I mean, the free part should sell you on it right there. It's that easy. Stop the video, go down there, and do it right now. For any of you guys who do that, I appreciate it so much. You guys have no idea. It means the world. But without further ado, let's stop wasting time and let's jump into 4 NBA superstars that need to leave their team as soon as possible. All right, the first one for the video here today is the Portland Trail Blazers' very own Damian Lillard. Now, I'm assuming that most of you would know why I chose Damian Lillard to leave the Portland Trail Blazers, but if you don't, I'm still gonna explain it. All right, so Damian Lillard has been in the NBA for 7 seasons. All 7 of them have been with the Portland Trail Blazers, and they have not made it past the second round of the playoffs a single year he's been there. All 7 years. And if I'm remembering correctly, they've only made it to the second round of the playoffs 1 year, that I remember at least. And literally the only reason they made it to the second round of the playoffs that year was because Damian Lillard hit a game-winning fading 3 in Game 6 against the Houston Rockets. As soon as I brought up that shot, I'm almost positive every person watching this video has a distinct memory of that shot because it's honestly one of the most iconic shots of the recent years. But either way, let's get past that. It's also very clear that in his 7 years in Portland with the Trailblazers, the Blazers have given Damian Lillard little to no help to make a championship run for his entire career so far. And don't get me wrong when I say this either. I'm not saying that the Blazers aren't trying to succeed with Damian Lillard as their star. Like, obviously, they're going to be trying to get some talent around him and make a championship run for their franchise. But after 7 years, it's just not working. It hasn't worked, and I don't think it's going to work anytime soon. Him and CJ McCollum are one of the deadliest backcourts in the NBA. I love watching those two play together, but it's simple to say that the Blazers are not going to make a championship run, and they're not going to make it to the finals, I don't think, anytime soon. Damian Lillard is actually under contract for the remainder of this season and the 2 following seasons after that, so he will not be a free agent until the summer of 2021. I mean, you guys, don't get me wrong. I know Damian Lillard is a loyal person. He's a loyal NBA player. He's all about trying to get success for the city of Portland with CJ McCollum and Yusuf Nurkic, etc. for that roster that's in Portland right now. But if I were Damian Lillard, I would request a trade as soon as I possibly could, like, honestly. He's currently 28 years old. He's in the prime of his life. He's spent 7 years with a team that has not made it to a conference finals in his entire 7 years he's been there. Like I said before, as I remember, they've only made it out of the first round of the playoffs 1 time. And like I said, he's 28 years old. His value will never be higher. This is the prime of his career right here, right now. And I don't think they're going to be making a championship run with this Portland team anytime soon, especially not this year. But yeah, I love Damian Lillard. I love him for being a loyal player in the NBA. But if he wants to get a ring or a championship or get some playoff experience under his belt, he's got to leave as soon as possible. All right, and number 2 for the video here today is Kemba Walker of the Charlotte Hornets. Now, as we all know, as I'm making this video, Kemba Walker has a player option going into this upcoming offseason. He more than likely will be eligible to sign a supermax contract with the Charlotte Hornets if he does want to stay, which I'm pretty sure is in the range of 5 years, $190 million for Kemba Walker. If he does not want to take the Supermax and try to get another star or another high-paid player to come to Charlotte, he could take a 5-year for $140 million. Or I think the option is if he does leave in free agency this offseason and goes to another team, he could get 4 years around $100 million. I'm pretty sure those are the numbers. I could be a little off, but that is relatively what it is. And honestly, I mean, if I was in Kemba Walker's shoes, I would just walk. There's no doubt about it. I would try to find a team to win a championship. Kemba Walker is also currently 28 years old. He's in his 8th season with the Charlotte franchise. And unless I'm mistaken with this, thinking off the top of my head, unless I'm forgetting a year where the Hornets made the playoffs, I don't think Kemba's ever played in a playoff game in his career yet, and he's 28 years old. Like, the dude's 28 and he has not yet made the playoffs. He's proven that he is an NBA star. He's earned the right to be an all-star starter out of the Eastern Conference. It was well-deserved on his part. He put on an absolute show this year for a struggling Charlotte Hornets team. And I know Kemba Walker is also one of the more loyal players in the NBA. He always talks about how he wants to be a Hornet for life. He wants to stay there, and he wants to try to bring success to the city of Charlotte. But, like, I don't know. I respect him for wanting to stay, but I'm sorry. The Hornets aren't going anywhere anytime soon. It's clearly just a one-man show in Charlotte, and Kemba's got to do it all for that team to even win a game. He dropped 60 plus earlier in the year and they lost. I don't know what else there is to say about Kemba Walker and the Charlotte Hornets. He's been averaging about 24 to 25 points per game in the last 3 seasons for that team, and they have gone nowhere. They have got no big names, or at least decent names, to help him, and if they have, it hasn't worked out at all. I don't know. I just don't want Kemba or Damian Lillard to end up down the road just not having any playoff success, or even making the playoffs for Kemba's standpoint. So yeah, there's number 2 of the video. It is Kemba Walker. And the third one of the video is actually going to be very surprising to you guys, at least I'm thinking it's going to be, and it is Victor Oladipo of the Indiana Pacers. Now, it was very upsetting to see Victor Oladipo go down this year with that injury. He is going to miss the entire rest of the season, which in fact is a huge loss for the NBA. Victor Oladipo is one of the top tier young studded stars on the rise. He's so much fun to watch. He already is a star, and he's going to continue to be a star in the NBA. Let's pray he comes back nice and easily from that injury. But the reason that I'm saying Victor Oladipo should leave the Indiana Pacers is simply because when I'm thinking about it, I don't want what happened to Paul George with the Pacers to happen to Victor Oladipo. Now, if you think back to the Paul George era in Indiana, Paul George and Victor Oladipo were relatively at the same age and time when they were with the Pacers. And on top of that, I know in Paul George's era with the Indiana Pacers, they did make that Eastern Conference Finals run either 1 or 2 years, I can't remember. But besides that, either 1 or 2 years of making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, there was not much success for the Pacers in the playoffs with Paul George, and Paul George was very clearly furious and not happy with the Pacers organization, which in the end resulted to Paul George requesting a trade from the Indiana Pacers. And simply put it, that's what I'm afraid is going to happen to Victor Oladipo. I'm afraid that they're not going to be able to surround Victor Oladipo with enough talent in Indiana to actually make a run to the NBA Finals. Now, granted, I know I'm going to hear about it in the comments down below from any Pacers fans that the Pacers were actually making a very good run this year, and who knows what seed they would have finished with and what record they would have finished with going into the playoffs this year if Vic stayed healthy for the entire year. But I guess we're never going to know. The Pacers are actually still keeping it up without Victor Oladipo. I'm pretty sure they're still either 3rd or 4th in the Eastern Conference as I'm making this video. But that is ultimately why I'm bringing up Victor Oladipo in this video, is because I do not want Paul George in Indiana to happen all over again just with Victor Oladipo. And for number 4, there's obviously going to be a quite different reason of why they should leave their team. But if you're seeing the highlights roll in the background, you can already tell who it is. It is Kevin Durant of the Golden State Warriors. This one's just straight up simple. There is a very simple reason to why I think Kevin Durant should leave Golden State this offseason. And basically putting it, I want the NBA to be competitive again. Now, I know the regular season is competitive. All the way throughout the playoffs, it's competitive. In between each series, it's still fun to watch. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't take that the wrong way. But I want the NBA back where you're going into a new season and you have no idea who's going to make it to the finals. Like, you cannot even tell me for this season you didn't know who was going to win the NBA Finals before the season even began. Like, granted, I know the Golden State Warriors picked up DeMarcus Cousins, and that's another big reason of why you probably thought the Golden State Warriors were going to easily win the Finals this year, which they obviously are. But even with the last 2 seasons of Kevin Durant being on the Warriors, it was still pretty far-fetched to say that the Warriors weren't going to win the Finals, because that team of having 4 All-Stars on one team, and now it's 5 All-Stars on one team with DeMarcus Cousins. It's just, I don't know, man. It's so depressing to know that you're just going to have the Warriors win the Finals in the end, and it's not going to be close competition. I mean, granted, one of the teams from the East might be able to take them to like 5 or 6 games, I'd say. But I just feel like when that team goes full force, they're impossible to stop, especially when it gets to the playoffs. They're going to kick it into full gear, and it's not going to be able to be matched. I can see it now. But Kevin Durant, you need to leave. The NBA needs to be competitive again. You need to prove yourself by winning a championship without 3 to 4 All-Stars by your side. Like, don't get me wrong, he's still going to go down as one of the top players of all time, but he needs to prove himself by playing somewhere else with less than 3 other All-Stars to back him up if he's having an off night. So yeah, I could keep going on about this subject with Kevin Durant for literally hours probably. But I'm gonna cut it short there. You guys know what I'm getting at, and I kind of don't want to talk about it anymore. But once again, without further ado, I think that's going to mark the end of the video here today. I'm really hoping you guys did enjoy the new video of mine. If you did in any way, shape, or form, please make sure to go down below and slap a like on it. Once again, you guys, it means the absolute world to see your guys' support on my content. You honestly have no idea how much it means to me. But after saying that, I think that's all I have to say for this video. So once again, I thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. You mean the world to me. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!